So you've gone and gotten the perfect gift, at least in your mind. You have gone and got it wrapped up in beautiful packaging, great bow. You've placed it under the tree and you are awaiting Christmas Day so that you can present it to the person that you thought enough to give this gift to. Christmas Day comes, you present it to them, and it's met with a mediocre response. And they don't like it and they're never going to use it. Well, today I'm going to be giving you some game on how to deal with the rejection of giving people your gifts. What's up, all you good fellow fly guys? You know who it is, the cat in the hat, your resident fly guy, your chief architect, Michael Andrew of StarArchitects.com, here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to this styling thing. And today, it's Truth Hurts Thursdays. Yo, I hope that you've been showing up this week in style, but if you haven't, if you've been having some issues identifying the identity in your image, or every time you step into your closet, you find yourself just a bit confused in trying to compose the character that you are going to be putting out into your story, well, fret no more. That is exactly why I'm here, to ensure that you are showing up in style and leaving a lasting impression with your look. Listen, I believe that every man has a story, and that story soon becomes history or his story. But it all begins with a statement in style. So I want to make sure that you are finding and creating yours. So if you find the information beneficial, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love to be a character in your style story. And if you have already subscribed, like my man Delando Pugh, you know I'm going to be looking for those comments in the comment box. I need your feedback, family. Then you know I appreciate you. Now, all you have to do is one more thing, and that is hit that notification bell, and that way you will be notified each and every time new content comes out. So what happens when you have taken the time, you followed everything that I was talking about earlier this week to get a gift, and it still goes wrong, right? You've done all these different types of things. How do you deal with that? How do you make sure that not only you don't fall apart or get upset or get mad, and to make sure that you course correct and get the right thing or get the beneficial thing the next time? Well, we're going to talk about that today. Before we get to that though, I do want to make sure that we create this caveat, right? The average person is actually not even going to tell you that they don't like a gift or they don't like what you got them. The reason being is because that would come off rude, that would come off mean-spirited, that would come off hurtful to you. And if they're friends or they're family members or they're your lover, they do care about your feelings. So they're probably not even going to tell you anyway. But I would hope that you have an honest relationship with those people that you care about, so that you are getting things that they're really going to enjoy. If you missed the earlier conversation that we had this week, I told you, when they got that well up of tears in your eyes, you really know you got it right. And you may not always hit the nail right there, but you want to kind of be in that space as much as possible. And again, it requires thought, it requires attention and intention when you are dealing with those people. But what happens when you do all those things and you still miss the mark? Well, today we're going to be talking about those things when it comes to Christmas, but this is also something that you can apply to your everyday life when you are giving your personal gifts, whether that is being a great communicator, a great listener, or a great teacher, or any one of the other wonderful attributes that you may have. These are all gifts that the universe has created for us, and so you can give those to people who may not accept those. So the first tip in dealing with somebody rejecting your gift is to keep the receipts. Now, I'm not only talking about the literal receipts, I'm also talking about those mental receipts. Now, of course, pretty straightforward. If you are dealing with somebody, especially if these are one of your new friends, one of your new girlfriends, or any of those different types of things, then you definitely want to keep some receipts. You don't want to put the receipt in the box like a lot of people do. I never really have gotten that. Like, they already knew they weren't going to get it right, so here's the receipt so you can return that if you need to. But you want to keep the receipt, because if that person says, in all honesty, love, I love the thought. If it's your girl, I really do love the thought, or if it's your family member, really do love the thought, but it's not really going to work for me, and I'm probably not going to use it, and I don't want this to sit inside, my closet or inside my kitchen or whatever you got them, then give them that receipt so that they can take it back. And what I would also recommend is going with them to see what they like. That this is a new opportunity for you guys to connect on a different level. The second part of that is to keep the mental receipts. So if you're giving somebody a gift, you're a great listener, you are a great speaker or a great communicator, right? And they're just not receiving that gift. Keep those mental receipts of the times that they have. Keep those mental receipts for the times that they have engaged with you, that they've opened up to you, and realize that certain situations just may not call for what it is that you're doing. And this will help you learn about this person so that you know when to listen or when to engage, or when to engage and when to listen. These certain situations may require two different gifts, and a gift that you may not have or that you are still developing. So just bear that in mind, which leads me to my second tip. How to deal with the rejection of the gifts that you are giving is to realize that it's not about you. So on Christmas, for some reason, a lot of people tend to get into this selfish mode even when they're giving. So if they give somebody something and it's not well received, they want to get an attitude. Like, what you mean you don't like my gift? I can't believe that you didn't like my gift. Well, they didn't like your gift. Like, that's what it is. And this is an opportunity for you to learn about them. So it's not about you. It's about making that person happy. It's about putting a smile on that face, getting those tears. I'm telling you, those tears mean something. Right? Those tears of joy mean something. So if you're in that space and you're able to give them something and it's not well received, realize it's not about you. It has nothing to do with you. You wanted to give them a gift and it wasn't received the best. Now, again, most people aren't going to tell you that. They will be gracious and take those things, but you want them to be honest. And so if they aren't, again, this is an opportunity for you to say, wow, I really missed the mark at this point, and for you to build on that. The other side of that is again, when you're giving your gifts out into the world, whether it's style, whether it's communication or listening, and somebody gets upset, and this has happened to me several times, don't think that it's you. Don't think that this has anything to do. If you're coming at a space of love, if you're coming at a space of affirmation and being, a good person, and that person gets mad at you, that has nothing to do with you. That has everything to do with the things that they may be dealing with personally. So be sympathetic, because you've had frustrated and confusing types of times. Be empathetic and remove yourself. Don't get pulled into the emotional space that they are, and just be there for them when they either come out of that or during that situation, especially if it's your girlfriend or you're dealing with them on a consistent basis. The last thing that I would recommend when it comes to dealing with rejection when you are giving your gifts is to always be gracious. I just told you that a lot of people are going to not really even tell you that they don't like the gift. They're just not going to use it. And I don't know about you, that's probably more annoying than you just saying you didn't like it and me having the receipt and being able to take that back. So be gracious. If somebody says that they don't like it, they were gracious enough to try to spare your feelings. Be gracious enough in hearing theirs. And this may lead to you laughing about it and having a great story to add to your collective story, a great chapter to add to your story. Or this is a time for you guys to really connect, because that may be an indicator that you're not really connecting with the person that you claim that you care about. And this is a great sign of it. You totally missed the mark on what you thought that they wanted. And so it can either be a game and lighthearted, or it can be a great indicator of you not really connecting like you want to, which is a gift in itself, because if you're aware of it, then you can make the change. And so the same thing will go on both sides. If you are having some issues communicating, if you're having some issues connecting, if you're having some issues doing things that are averse to the type of person that you think that you are, be gracious enough to learn about yourself and how you're showing up in other people's lives. I can't tell you how much I appreciate when people just tell me, yo, it's you this time. It's you. Right? I told you it's not always about you, but sometimes it's you. I have to be gracious enough to see how my character, right, the character that is in their story, is showing up in their life. And this gives me the opportunity to transform how they are experiencing me. And I can tell you again how often that allows other people to connect with me on a much deeper level. So those are 3 tips that will help you deal with rejection when you are giving your gifts. I don't know why I've been doing 3s, but it's another 3rd. So leave me this answer to the question of the day. How have you dealt with the rejection of giving somebody a gift and them not receiving it? I could use some tips, and I'm sure some of the other fellas in the community could use it as well. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you found the information beneficial. Don't forget that we are here every Monday through Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And lastly, don't ever forget that dress is nothing more than the expression of a man's state of mind, so you should always dress to express. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.